I was having a conversation today, and I thought I'd do this video because it was very, very important to have this conversation. There's a lot of information out there that I want to talk about. You need to know that the first person that was ever created is a woman. The woman created. So when we say that the creator created man in its own image, that means the woman created the man. So the woman is the creator. The first person that was ever created is the woman. Then the woman created the man in her own image. Okay? So this is the reason why you see the woman, the she carries the child, she nurtures the child, she gives it milk and all these things because she's trying to mold to get the child in her womb to be certain, by the time the baby's ready, the baby comes out. That's the whole concept of making the child in its own image. Okay, so the woman is, and it's then created the first man, what you call man or mana. Okay, um, and is Adam is not the name. The name is not Adam. Adam is never the first. Is not the name of it, because at the time the religion, there was not. We don't have English language. All these names that you see, Paul, Peter, Matthew, Mark, that they don't exist. They never existed. Okay, Jesus did not exist. We didn't have Jesus. Jesus is not. It never existed. Man made up all those things. Okay, the construct of Bible, the Bible never existed. The ones that have always been that created all this they didn't speak English. They never spoke English. Okay, so just you need to know that the Africans, what you call Africa, which was even changed, that's not the original name, but we're gonna go with Africa. So Africa, and then the color of them was much more like what you call darker skin and complexion. So then with this color, they were this color or even darker, right? And they are the ones that have always been on Earth. So if you are going to talk about who Adam is, or who Eve, or what you call Eve or Ava, they it's they're not. They are mostly dark skinned, and the language they spoke, but they didn't speak English. Okay, so the concept of the first man is Adam, but it's not truth. It's not the first, but the first person, the first woman, the first is woman, and the woman created the man in her own image. So we come from the woman. That's why we come from the woman. We don't come from the man. And then we say things like the seed, the seed of man. It's given to the man by the woman. So the man and the woman are the same. But you need to understand that the who comes first is always the woman, and through the woman comes the man is created. Okay, this is just what I want people to know. The woman is the first. That's why we always say the woman first. She comes first because she carries the reality. She is the original creator, and all of us come from that image, from her creation. She made man in her own image. So if you want to be the best man, your mother and your father, your mom and your mother knows the kind of child. If you're a man, your mama knows how to raise you to be the best version of yourself, to be married to the woman. Now, to as a woman, your mama knows the version of a woman that you need to be married to the man. Only the woman knows both, but she carries you. She carried all of them. She carried the man and the woman, the boy and the girl. Only the woman knows, because she carried you. This is why she's the creator. She's why she's always the creator, because she knows the version that you need to be in order for you to be married. If we a woman, her daughter, she knows how you're supposed to be in order for you to marry the man. And if you're her son, she knows exactly how you need to be in order for you to marry the woman. That's the reason why men always want to look up to marry a version of their mom, or the man, or or the son wants to marry the version of always marry the way their dad is. So it's like, okay, the daughter want to marry the version of their father. Now, if their father was not in their life, right? So they're gonna see how their mother is, who their mother is attracted to. If their mom and the daughter has a good relationship, and the kind of man their mother is with is who she's gonna strive to also be with. The only difference is if they don't have a good relationship, if the mother and the father doesn't have a good relationship, the daughter could emulate the patterns. If the father and the mother have a good relationship, the children will copy that and follow the steps. It's just how it goes. So that's why it's important that we set the examples. Our parents did the best they can, and a lot of us we copied our parents and continued the same pattern. But what changed? The difference is when we say, you know what, we don't want to continue this. We only want to continue something that is more loving, that is much in alignment with our soul. That means like respecting one another and then being the best version of ourselves and setting an example for our children. That we can continue that tradition. That's what tradition and culture is. Is continue that kind of tradition where your mother and your father love each other, they worked together, they loved each other, they respected one another, they created a very loving family environment community. Then that seed is how we come to be, because of we come through that, through that reality, through that imagination, and that seed continues in me, and then my children, like to my daughter, and then my sons, and then it will continue. Because now that's what you call tradition. That's the tradition that continues. The tradition that continues is the tradition of the husband, the father, and the mother. They have children, and they loved each other deeply, and they created a very loving, wealthy, successful household, and they created businesses that way. They become successful, mind, body, soul, and spirit. So that seed is the tradition that continues, and that's the legacy. Truly, it has nothing to do with your education. All those things doesn't. What is the tradition is basically the tradition of the husband, the mother, the father, and the mother loving each other, respecting each other, being partners, working together, creating a home that is very loving, that is safe, that is very prosperous, where that both of them together created a specific way how they want to raise their children that is more worthy, that is nature connected and is worthy, where you respect each other, you do the same thing when you go out in public, you respect everyone in the same way, you treat every man that you come across the same way your father treated your mother, and your mother respects, so the children will do the same thing. So because you saw your parents respect and love each other, you will respect and love each and every person, because of that is your tradition that has been passed down to you. Okay, so that's basically the story that I'm trying to put out there is creation, or how we come to be. It's the woman, and then created in the image. That's when the man comes. So it's always the first. The woman was always the first, and then from that comes the man, and then that's how we become. Okay, um, men didn't come first. Men never came first. So God is a woman. If we have to say what God or Chukwu is a woman. It can be man. Man didn't create. Man is not the creator. The whole, all of it is the divine mother. She is that, and don't expect it to be like looking like a Dodger, what you call white people. Okay, you need to understand that it's Africa. This is the reason why Africa, Africa is just a civilization. So when you talk about a tree of life or the garden, you're talking about Africa. You're talking about the soul. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Um, you shouldn't look at Israel, Bethlehem, all these things as those things are just analogies. They're not truth. They're not truth. They're not actual truth. They're not actual truth. Okay, all these things are just creation that you constructed within yourself. And this is not to go against anyone or people. This is just my own truth from my own understanding and from my own realizations. And I can truly stick to this because I know it is the truth. Okay, the woman is the creator. She is the one that creates all. And when I say that, that's the reason why the women have always been trying to be controlled. Men have always trying to manipulate them. Um, when I say manipulation, because they try to use the man, thing trying to confuse the woman. But she's always been the creator. She's always been that, and it has always been. That's why compassion, faith, hope, all these words we use have always been attributed or contributed or connected to the mother. The true impediment of unconditional love or conditional love or community or union is always been connected to the mother because she is that's the frequency or the vibration that creates all humility, those things, and the source of our power is always usually whenever someone is trying to mess with our own daughter or our own family, specifically our mothers. That's when you can see us become more angry, become more pissed off because we're trying to protect our family. Man doesn't burn or become fiery until there's circumstances or situations that happen where he feels like he has to protect his family. Now he can draw from that. Then you can draw strength from the family. That's where strength comes from. It's the need to be with your family, connect to your family, and take care of your family. There's something that happens when you draw from that, and that's how you can get to what you call almighty or all powerful, the woman. You can only get to that and receive strength and power when it is to take care of your family or protect your family or provide for your family. Now that's it's gonna come to you. Wealth is gonna flow. Intelligence is gonna flow. Wisdom, understanding, patience, things that you need, the tools that you need in order for you to become prosperous and successful in this physical form as a soul being, experiencing it all. It always boils down to family, and she is the family. She is always the family, or always will be the creator